28-3. There should be no surprises for Terry Donahue's defense. Illinois has to do something. It's not an onside kick here. A short kick, however. Nelson. Oh, Durrell fumble, and UCLA, or is it Illinois? UCLA recovers, and that's the break that the Illini were looking for. It was bounding around, hit several players, but wound up in the grasp of a white jerseyed Bruin.
I'm sure that part of the conversation in the locker room, let's go out there and make something happen for our side. Durrell just had that ball knocked loose. I believe it was Kevin Nelson. Kevin Nelson, number 3, not number 8. It might have been Pugh, number 18, who had a shot at that football. You see him coming back. I think he's the one that made the hit.
UCLA has the ball at the 23-yard line. 28-3 lead. The Illini fans down to our left on their feet, rooting for the defense. Nelson can't get outside. He gains maybe 1. Don Thorpe. Look at the speed of that 250-pounder.
Well, I don't know what they talked about, but they came out with some fire in the second half. Let's see if it pays off for them. They need to get the football, and most importantly, they need to get some points on the board.
UCLA, as you well know, for the last 2 years, this has been their home field, moving from the Coliseum, and they've lost only once in the 2 years here in the Rose Bowl. As a home team, more familiar with the surroundings. Neuheisel, 10 out of the last 10, intercepted and dropped. Mike Weingrad had it for a moment. Intended for Sherrard.
And you saw the coaches on the sideline saying, all right, here we go now. Making the kinds of plays they need to make. Weingrad doing a good job of getting a hand on this football. He wanted to keep it, but he just couldn't get the other hand on it before it bounced on the ground. That's 2 near turnovers. Both of them would have been so eagerly accepted by Illinois. Let's see if they give a third opportunity.
Third down, almost the full 10 for the first down. On the ground to Nelson. And he's hammered at the 25. And the Illini defense has the Illinois supporters excited. They'll get the ball after 3 downs.
Excellent penetration by 53 Mark Butkus on that play to turn it back inside. 4th and long, an opportunity to get one of those punt returners down the field with it. Whatever they do, they will have an opportunity here. Let's see what the offense can do with it now.
Don Passmore is back at the Illini 30 as Bono will punt. Ooh, he scuffs it. And Grant, fair catch at the 40-yard line. Randy Grant, the up back. So Illinois with good field position at the 40-yard line after a 35-yard punt.
An excellent decision by Randy Grant. Had that ball hit the ground, it looked like it would have rolled down toward the Illinois end zone.
Now the Illini fired up break huddle. Jack Trudeau, their quarterback.
I wonder whether they'll run a little bit more in this act, Dick.
They certainly did not do much of that the first 30 minutes. Nope, back throwing. Escaping Trudeau, complete Beverly. A gain of about 9.
Was the man that he faked the handoff to initially, and Trudeau had to do some gymnastics of his own to escape the rush on that play. Doug West was blitzing on the play, had his arms around Trudeau in the backfield, and he was able to get away and complete the pass.
Tommy Taylor with the tackle.
There's the shot right there. He just ducked underneath the arm. Jeff Chapin, the other man back there chasing him.
Second down, a long 1. Beverly. He has a first down at the UCLA 47. Beverly from Los Angeles Lott High School migrated, as did so many of these Illinois players, back to the Midwest from Southern California.
Real California connection, and those California guys are happy to be back here in the warm sunshine and happy to be playing in the Rose Bowl. Unhappy to look up and see the score so one-sided. They'd like to do something about it.
And the score on their first possession would certainly lift spirits. Trudeau, good protection. Searching. Open down the middle, and another drop. Beverly is the guilty party this time. That's 4 right on the money thrown by Trudeau that had been dropped by his receivers. No question about the strength of his arm, nor his accuracy. He's been on the money most of the day.
He certainly has some zippers that have been dropped on him, and this one should have been caught. An easy pass to catch. Beverly had all the time in the world. Goes down and kicks it away. Nobody even stepping down to look at him on that one. Delacono was the man who swept in from the outside and gave Trudeau something to think about on that play.
Second down 10. Flag down before the snap. Five yards, illegal procedure against the Illini. There's the backup quarterback, Ken Cruz. And down the line, number 2, Chris Jenner, is the third string quarterback.
Dead ball foul, illegal procedure, offense.
Jenner signals in the plays. They're called by Mike White with the help of Bob Gamble upstairs, and they're signaling. They do a good job from both sidelines of getting those offensive plays in via signal to the quarterbacks.
After the 5-yard penalty, 2nd and 15 for Trudeau. Open is the tight end, Tim Brewster, who had an excellent first half. He's short of the first down, tackled at the Bruin 41-yard line. 11 yards on the play. Lee Knowles made the tackle.
Brewster asking to come out. Apparently hit pretty hard on that particular play. Scott Davis going in, but you see him wide open. Got the football. Takes a shot from Lee Knowles there. I think maybe just shook him up a little bit. Went to the sideline. We'll see more of him.
5 catches today for Brewster. Third down. Call it 5. Trudeau is sacked, and another big defensive play. It's Doug West, a senior from Del Mar, California.
When we talked about the linebackers for UCLA early, 2 that we talked about were Delacono and West. We said they had to come through with a big performance today. Well, they've both been mentioned a great deal, and West had gone over the top of Trudeau earlier. He did not miss him on that play.
Gurney just does get his kick away, and it's a good one. Sanchez, surprisingly, fields the ball and falls on the 3-yard line.
And that's the kind of thing that gives a coach gray hairs on the sideline. Had he let that one go, it would have gone all the way through the end zone.
Sanchez electing to field it, losing his footing, and then slipping down. The play's dead right there when that right knee hits the turf. A brilliant 54-yard punt. The Bruins are in the hole in terms of field position, but it's the Illini that are playing catch-up, down 28-3. 28-3, UCLA with 11 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Mike White talking with his quarterback, Jack Trudeau. White will celebrate a birthday tomorrow. Win or lose, it's going to be his 48th.
They haven't lost hope. You still see them plotting and scheming on the sideline. They need the football again quickly.
From the 3-yard line. And it's the fullback, Wiley, up the middle to about the 8. A gain of 5 in the grasp of Darrell Thompson, number 99.
Real battle. Duval Love, number 67. They're really in a dogfight down there. He's going up against, who's it, 92. That's Curtis Clark, hometown boy, trying to get a little bit of work on his own there. Stacking up Love. He still made a few yards, got a little breathing room out to about the 9-yard line.
Love, just a junior, 6'3" and 273. From Frank Cephas's view, number 46. He gets the ball. And he's close to, and does have, a first down at the 15-yard line. Mo Bias made the tackle. So UCLA showing now by opening up the game with a pass and those sweeps early, Merlin. Now they're going inside.
Duval Love, right in the middle of your screen. You saw him getting submarined on the last play. A chance now as he slides inside, beats the count slightly, cuts Curtis Clark off, leaves Curtis Clark, and goes in to help on Don Thorpe. Thorpe getting driven out on that particular play. That's Chris Yelich, number 66, senior tri-captain. Boy, I'll tell you, he's quite a story, Dick.
He is. Didn't get to play in last year's Rose Bowl. Fullback is surrounded. Derek Tennell. No gain. You look at Mark Butkus on the sidelines working on that arm. Don Thorpe led the defensive charge of the Illini. Let's talk about Yelich a moment, number 66 of UCLA. a broken ankle in the USC game, final game of the year, a year ago. So he was denied the Rose Bowl and then just didn't recover this year. It kept swelling up on him. Really didn't play much all season long. Finally got himself, now as a senior, himself ready, wearing number 66. And now, what an assignment, working against Thor for Butkus as a guard. Yelich from LaPorte, Indiana. Neuheisel has the man. Durrell open and a first down at the 27.
Accuracy is the name of the game. Neuheisel under pressure had to get rid of that ball. Threw before the receiver even turned back to look, but got it right on target. Carl Durrell turning around, finding the ball there, did what he was supposed to do. He caught it.
Boy, it's a well-conceived game plan by Terry Donahue.
Well, I give a little credit to Homer Smith, too, the resident genius.
He should be a head coach. He was the former head man at Army. He's been an assistant with Donahue. Oh, what a lick by number 94, and a flag goes down. Ron Baum gets Nelson and maybe got him too high. No, the signal is holding against UCLA.
Now that's the 10-yard penalty. That marks it back. I don't think there's any question about whether they're going to forego the penalty. They'll take it back to the previous spot, mark off the 10 yards.
That'll take it inside the 20-yard line.
Holding on the offense. Still first down.
The Illini adopted that child apparently for this Rose Bowl game. Yeah, UCLA.
Look at a bigger mascot today, don't they? Maybe they little higher profile at the moment.
Neuheisel on 1st and 20. Little safety valve over the middle to Nelson, and he's hit at the 25. Boy, Neuheisel went down as he delivered the ball. 9 yards on the play. Archie Carter made the defensive play for Illinois.
We don't think about the kind of shots that quarterbacks take after the throw, but watch Neuheisel here. Gets the ball off, and now is just leveled. Darrell Thompson, number 99, knocking him down. He's able to look up and see the completion. That's the payoff for him, but he does take some abuse on that play.
Number 24, Danny Andrews, replaces Kevin Nelson at running back. 2nd and 11. Oh, Neuheisel doing a good job of freeing himself and throwing long for Young. Mike Young all the way to the 32-yard line. Beat Keith Taylor, the rookie cornerback.
Mark Butkus had left the field with a hyperextended elbow, came back in, missed the tackle as he got in on Neuheisel. Neuheisel able to slip away from him, and you've got to wonder if maybe that elbow isn't bothering him. And Mark Young, just taking advantage of the time Neuheisel got by scrambling, is making it an even longer afternoon for Keith Taylor. Taylor not getting down deep on the play, and I think you hit it right earlier. Just inexperienced, Dick. The freshman not ready for that kind of contact on a day like today.
Well, Neuheisel hit Young 53 yards for a touchdown in the second quarter. Got 44 more on that throw. And suddenly Bruins, who started at their 3, are at the Illinois 32. And Cephas with a huge hole is all the way to the 13. Dwayne Pugh saved the touchdown. 19 yards for the senior from Newark, Delaware, Frank Cephas.
In a gambling defensive scheme, you hope that the big plays offset the plays that go against you. This is one of the big plays that goes against you. Thorpe had stunted to the outside. Linebacker stunted to the inside. Frank Cephas said, hey, I'll take advantage of that hole. They finally get him down. He's all the way inside the 15.
19-yard run. Nelson. Half the Illinois team making the stop after a gain of 3 or 4.
Well, it has to be so disheartening for a defense. They've made some big plays at the other end of the field, and yet here's UCLA right back knocking again, looking at another potential score. And how do you stop that? That's just tremendous acceleration, tremendous offensive performance.
9th play of this drive, and of course consuming the clock. You saw Mike White. He knows the score. He's watching that electronic monster chew away time that he needs to play catch up. as Frank Cephas plowing up the middle for 2 or 3 yards. Might have had an early start by one of the UCLA players. It is illegal motion. Let's introduce the officials. A bit late, but we want to give them credit. It's quite an honor for them to be selected from the 2 conferences. John Nealon, the referee, Walt Wolf, Richard Weiler, Larry Nemmers, Gaylord Bryan, Harvey Jones, and Tom Herbert working this game today.
They've done a good job of keeping this game under control, too. Emotional. You saw a couple of the players breaking loose early, a little bit of emotion, but they've done a good job of taking care of things.
There they are. It means a lot to them to be selected to work this famed Rose Bowl game. Richard Weiler, a double duty man. He's been in the Rose Bowl and also worked an NCAA championship or 2 in basketball. Second down and 12 for Neuheisel. Going deep for Bergman. Touchdown. No, he was out of bounds, they say. Did not get the foot down. You need only 1 foot down, of course, in the collegiate game. He was very close, but the official right on the spot saying, nope.
Rick Neuheisel picks himself up off the ground. I think he had sensed the potential there for a touchdown. Took every possible second he could take. Got the ball out there, and watch how close he comes to a touchdown here. Swope beaten in the corner of the end zone, but that foot just, here's a place to see it. Watch the feet now. Needs 1 foot only in bounds. Hard to tell. Looked like it might have been on the line. It's got to be in bounds.
Third down and 12 from the 15. UCLA looking for more. Good protection. Open again. That's a touchdown. Durrell, his second of the game. And 4th by Neuheisel.
And perhaps Terry Donahue is asking himself why he waited so long to give Neuheisel a chance to play. On the other sideline, Mike White absolutely stunned. I think perhaps the most disappointment on the field right now, number 4, Keith Taylor. They got him again. 7 points. Neuheisel, does he know it's a touchdown? Watch him. He knew all the way.
He doesn't know that he's just put his name in the Rose Bowl record book. Lee kicks the extra point. That's the 4th touchdown pass by Neuheisel. That ties Pete Beathard, University of Southern California, against Wisconsin in that high-scoring game back in 1963. Neuheisel joins Beathard. It's 35-3. UCLA. Shifts as a junior and senior in Tempe, Arizona. 4 touchdown passes. We'll hear his feelings about being in this Rose Bowl after a non-recruit, a walk-on at UCLA. Trudeau off some play action. Out to Rooks, who's tackled short of the first down. Rick Neuheisel, it's been his day. It's been a great year for him. One of the top 10 passers in the country. And he looked and anticipated and enjoyed this thrill of playing in Pasadena.
One more time.
I decided to come to UCLA. This was always the dream that I had, and now that it's realized, it's just something that is still hard for me to believe. But when I run onto the field and see the Rose on the 50-yard line, it'll hit me.
Well, he has seen that Rose on the field. It's not only hit him, he's hit Illinois.
I was going to say, he's hit those receivers, and he's hit them in the end zone. And the team that we had expected to see passing so successfully today, Illinois, has not been able to do it. Neuheisel and the Bruins, and not to say that they were not expected to pass. They're a passing team, too. But they have indeed stolen all the honors today. And they have put the results on the scoreboard where they lead 35-3.
Illinois looking for first down yardage and picked up just enough from Thomas Rooks. But that kind of play is almost a moral victory for the UCLA defense, as the clock, as soon as they mark the first down, will start again, and there's under 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Dick, as you get into this point of the game, you almost begin to play for a little pride. Illinois needing some points on the board. They don't like the lopsided edge they see when they look up.
'92, Frank Batchkoff, a freshman from Reseda, California, into the lineup now for UCLA. Trudeau off some play action, guns the ball to Williams. And David Williams has what appears to be a first down out at the 41-yard line. 10 yards in the play. Until this series, UCLA almost 4-1 in offense, over 400 yards for the Bruins, just over 100 yards for Illinois. And Steve Bono, who was the regular quarterback, Neuheisel was benched in the middle of the season after that rough start. Bono took over, had a big game, and then he was injured a shoulder, and he has not returned since. He's from Tommy Lasorda, the Dodgers manager's home base, Norristown, Pennsylvania.
Old friend of ours, Ben Agajanian, one of the kicking legends of the NFL there on this sideline. He does some work with UCLA, giving Bono a pat on the back. We've seen Bono as a punter, of course, today.
First down for the Illini, but they trailed 35-3 late in the third quarter. Trudeau extricates himself and almost gets it to Beverly. A good effort by Trudeau, who little extracurricular activity as Frank Batchkoff had him on the ground, and Trudeau wanted to get up.
Well, that's the first time we've seen some emotion out of Trudeau today. He's really a cool customer. In fact, Bobby Gamble, who works with him, said, I wish he would lose his cool a little bit more at times. I think sometimes he's too controlled. But this is a situation where he finally does. Scrambles, gets away from one, gets away from a second, goes to the ground here. Oh, he didn't like that right at the end. No, I don't blame him. Now, he got even, though. He got an elbow back in there.
Batchkoff said, who, me? Intercepted, yes. Joe Gasser picked it right off his shoe tops at the Illinois 45, and the Bruins had their third interception of the game.
What a painful afternoon. It all comes down on your shoulders, playing a leveraged offense. Trying to live by the pass virtually by itself, and they have paid the price with interceptions today.
And I believe we'll have a new UCLA quarterback when we return to the Rose Bowl. 4 minutes left, third quarter. Side, but with a creative turn to the outside, able to turn that one up for 4 or 5 yards. Ed Brady made the tackle for Illinois. It's interesting that these two coaches, when you ask them about their influences as a head coach, the first names that came up, Mike White said, well, you know, Pete Newell, the basketball coach at California. He was a junior varsity basketball player at Cal Berkeley in his playing days, and also an end on the football team. Pete Newell helped me with my organization and how to work with personnel. And for Terry Donahue, first name he came up with was John Wooden. He said, my first year, Coach Wooden, UCLA's wizard, was so helpful in getting me to think through all the problems that fall on the head coach's shoulders. Said, I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but here are some ideas. You pick out the ones you like.
Mike White wishing today, perhaps, that he'd had a little more help from someone like a Bill Arnsparger. And Terry Donahue hasn't had any trouble getting his offense on track, and his defense has played extremely well. And we talked to you about the adversity. He has certainly done a great job and deserves a great deal of credit for the success that his team is enjoying here in the Rose Bowl this afternoon. And Dick, getting kind of dark down there. Lights on, have been for quite a while.
3:15 left in the third quarter. UCLA with another interception, driving to build on their 35-3 lead. Cephas, some fancy running, and finally down. He stepped out of bounds back at the 18-yard line. But Cephas, the senior, in his last game, really giving a lot of second effort.
When it rains, it pours. Frank Cephas and these UCLA players reveling in their lead, enjoying their moment in the spotlight. Coming right over, jumps past Mike Heaven, number 9, hurdles his own. That was Tennell, Derek Tennell, gets out of Swope's tackle and then fights for the extra yardage before he's finally buried on the sideline by Archie Carter, number 84.
First down UCLA inside the 18. Clock stopped at 3:04. Third quarter. They run the short side to Nelson, and he gains 3 to the 15-yard line. Mike Heaven, Jr. from Delray Beach, Florida, made the tackle.
Duval loves signaling. Nelson on the ground, and he may have cramps. It looks like he has cramps in the backs of his legs. Duvall has got his toes tipped back.
UCLA's 60th play. They've dominated possession and the score 35-3. A break in the action, 2:49 remaining in the third quarter.
You've never seen anything like it, because there's never been anything like it. Introducing the total.
Well, rightfully, the day should end on such a magnificent sunset, an 84-degree afternoon, warmest ever for this date in Southern California. We'll have a little fun now. This game, of course, being televised around the world, including live to Japan. Let's listen how they call this second down and 7 at the 15.
本来のそのディフェンス見せてほしいですよね。
そうですね。ここでしっかり頑張らないとね。
さて、ニューハイゼルまたタッチダウンパスを狙った。惜しくも不成功です。
クォーターバックのニューハイゼル、イリノイの4番ディフェンスバックテイラーが非常に調子が悪いというのを狙ってですね、そこをボンボン投げてきますね。
さあ、再び NBC のサービスで我々の放送席が映っています。かなり暗くなりましたローズボール。
放送席ですね。
Now it's third down.
I understood all of that, didn't you, Dick?
Absolutely. Young just missed as Neuheisel went for the touchdown. 103,217 here at the Rose Bowl, and that's Frank Cephas to about the 12-yard line. That'll be short of the first down. And with a 35-3 lead, in comes John Lee to try a field goal for UCLA. I guess either way here, you might be accused of pouring it on. You put your offense on their fourth down, and they make a first down and another touchdown, so they're going to go for the 3.
Let's give some credit to these young men who got all-pro or all-Pac-10 recognition on the season. Bergman, Delacono, Love, Nelson, Rogers, Sanchez, Sherrard. They really did get a bunch of their players on the first team of the Pac-10 teams, and as they deserve to.
Lee punches that one home, and UCLA has 3 more. John Lee makes it 38-3 Bruins. Joe Gasser's interception leading to an additional field goal. I want to say also along with us, Mike White. A lonely time for the headmaster of Illinois. Although he's had a great year, it's not been a good day. Steve Baden, number 50, quarterback, kicking for Potter. Done a good job. Line drives this one, however, to Joe Miles. 25, 30. And Miles, the backup fullback, runs that way all the way to the 39.
Joe Miles, the special teams captain. Very unselfish in the way he has handled himself during this season, during his career at Illinois. Chance to watch the coverage. UCLA is not afraid to come down still. They haven't slacked up a bit. Got him coming down, blowing in there, going right after him. Miles doing a good job there. Out of one tackle. Pitts finally gets a hammer on him, gets him down.
Trudeau still at quarterback. Completes to Benson to the 46-yard line. Lupe Sanchez, all-coast performer, makes the tackle. Big Ten. Illinois winning the championship, and justifiably all of these members of the Fighting Illini making the all-conference first team. And you can see 3 of those men will be back. Babiard, Chiriga on the right side of the line. Swope, the sophomore safety. To Williams, hit immediately at the 48. That will be very close to a first down. Tackle made by Chucky Miller, who was just a freshman from Long Beach, California.
There's not a great deal to be happy about for Illinois fans, but one thing they can be enthused about is the fact that most of this team comes back. The 2 areas that they are going to have to rebuild, however, the defensive line and the linebackers. 9 of those good linebackers are seniors. And of course, Thorpe and Butkus are seniors.
3rd and 1. Trudeau throws back across the field to Rooks. Good move, and he has a first down at the UCLA 40. Lee Knowles made the tackle. The clock running. We're in the final half minute of this third quarter.
One of the things that makes football such a great game is that it's got to be played down on the floor of the arena itself. You only have one chance to call the shots. Mike White's been calling the plays all day. This particular play very successful to Rooks, who picks up 12 yards. But I'm sure if you could allow Mike the opportunity to go back and review his calls on the day, he'd make a lot of changes in his game plan.
Williams, and the pass too long for him. You think he might have, if he could second guess himself, that he would have run the ball earlier more? He really didn't challenge the Bruin defense with a run.
Dick, I think one of the things that made his team and made him so successful during this season was the fact that he had such good balance between the passing game and the running game. And really, it's the first time at Illinois that he's had the good running game. He did not use it today. He elected instead to go right after the juggler, to go at the throat of UCLA to try and hit the quick touchdowns. He has not been able to do that. It's backfired on him.
Closing of the third quarter, 38-3 UCLA. 2nd and 10. Complete to Williams. 25. And he's to the 20-yard line. Out of bounds at the 21. They say the footstep. Gasser made the tackle. 19-yard gain. And Illinois with its deepest drive of the game.
That's the kind of play that worked very successfully for the Illini during the season. Crossing pattern. Williams coming underneath, taking the pass, and then using his speed and running ability to get a little more yardage on the play. Right, necktie tackle on that one. Joe Gasser. I don't blame him for being a little upset, although there was a legal tackle.
There's a double foul, personal foul, so that does not change the position of the ball. One negating the other at the 21-yard line. 6 seconds left in this third quarter. Yeah, they're beating a happy tune on that UCLA side.
Not many of these Illinois fans leaving. A lot of orange left in this stadium.
And they're down at the Illinois end of the field. The fans on their feet. Trudeau drilling it. Knowles makes the tackle. David Williams with another catch for short yardage. And that is the end of the third quarter here at the Pasadena Rose Bowl. 38-3 the score. We'll be back after these messages from your local stations. And so it is with the Rose Bowl. Illinois opens the fourth quarter. Its deepest penetration into UCLA territory. It's a 2nd down, and Rooks drives to the 13-yard line. Close to a first down. Frank Batchkoff, freshman end, makes the tackle. 38-3 UCLA. Here are the other numbers. Rushing Illinois, -1. Of course, the passing sacks figure in the rushing total.
They detract from it tremendously, as you can see. But all of the yardage made in the air for Illinois. UCLA, look at those numbers. They have balanced things out today, and that's the kind of balance we had expected to see from Illinois.
They're going for a Rose Bowl record total passes in a game, these two teams. 63 have been thrown already. Rooks has the first down, and he's at the UCLA 5-yard line. 1st and goal for the Illini. The Rose Bowl record set back in early 60s. SC in Wisconsin, 69 passes.
Saw Chris block nose tackle, working one-on-one on Bob Miller, the center. Miller did a good job of opening a hole there, and Thomas Rooks knew what to do with it. Got himself down, got a position, and finally looks like unless they falter a bit, they may have a chance to get a touchdown, Dick.
Trudeau's going to throw for it to Rooks. Touchdown. Two men who hope to return to this game, sophomores Trudeau and Rooks, and the Illini have their first touchdown.
And Illinois fans and players and coaches finally have something to celebrate.
We'll see if they go for 2 points.
That was Tom Hayes, the defensive coordinator, on the sideline saying, hey, we better get organized a little bit. We don't want to give up that many points.
They're going to go for the 2. Trudeau throwing to Rooks this side, and he drops the ball. The flag is down.
We may have a penalty interference penalty against the defense.
They're pointing at the UCLA deep defense.
We have offensive pass interference on the offense.
Right on the call.
Try, no good.
So no good. The score remains 38-9. Let's see the touchdown again.
Give you a chance to watch the successful play action pass. A little bit of a fake to Beverly. Rooks had broken to the outside. He's all by himself as he gets into the corner of the end zone.
That's the 64th pass of the game, just 5 shy of the record set by USC and Wisconsin back in 1963. Plenty of time left, fourth quarter, 38-9. Lights were out in the first half for Illinois, but they're trying to cosmetically improve that score, 38-9. We'll see if the onside kick. Chris White, UCLA has crowded several of their receiving players up toward that 50-yard line. Nope, kicks it straight away. Durrell at the 4. And Carl Durrell is at the 19, and a flag goes down. Let's recap that. For those of you who have joined us late, here's how the scoring developed. UCLA, after a fumble recovery, Neuheisel to Bergman, 7-0. Chris White early in the second quarter cut it to 7-3 with a 41-yard Illinois field goal. But then the Bruins. It was Nelson ripping up the middle 28 yards to make it 14-3. Then after a Rogers interception, Neuheisel to Durrell, a 16-yard touchdown. Then a 53-yard touchdown, Neuheisel to Young, 28-3 at the half. Then Neuheisel to Durrell again, 15 yards, third quarter, 35-3, a John Lee field goal. And finally, Illinois, Trudeau to Rooks, a 5-yard pass, 38-9. That's where we stand with just under 14 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Dick, while you were busy catching us up, the officials announced a clipping penalty against UCLA that moved them back inside the 10-yard line. So with a turnover here, they would have excellent field position for Illinois.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock in Miami. I bet things are teeming there. That Orange Bowl is packed with Nebraska and Miami fans. Frank Cephas staying inbound. There was a senior play. He realized that it's the clock now that's the enemy of Illinois. Mark Butkus made the tackle. He 3, and he's slow getting up.
Hyperextended elbow, and he's had a bad knee for a good part of the season. Playing on it. It's the knee, I think, that's bothering him there. Most of the players on both of these teams, Dick, wear protective knee braces to protect their legs. And the Illinois strength coach was telling me that they have had very good luck using special programs to protect the knees and using some special braces. They have managed to get away with just 2 slight knee injuries on the season. One of those injuries, though, to Butkus, who's been playing hurt for a good part of the year.
Let's credit that senior Frank Cephas with a fine afternoon in his finale as a collegian. 78 yards. He leads all rushers in the game. Number 46, who picked up about 8 on that last carry. It's Cephas again. Out to the 18-yard line. Might be short of the first down by a yard. 84. Archie Carter in on the bottom of the file for Illinois.
One of the things that Terry Donahue has done in this game, and it's very interesting that he was able to pull it off. He's alternated his guards on those 2 big tackles inside, knowing that Butkus and Thorpe were so important to that defense. He's run fresh guards in and out of the game during the entire day, and they have indeed done an excellent job of blocking on the interior strength of Illinois.
3rd down and 1. You see Harper Howell, the zoom tight end, in motion. And it's Kevin Nelson. First down at the 21-yard line. And with 12:21, the Bruins have another 4 downs. Brady and Taylor made the tackle. We pause briefly from Pasadena for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WNBC TV, New York.
With Merlin Olsen, Dick Enberg at the Rose Bowl. Stay tuned, NBC, the Orange Bowl, Nebraska and Miami to follow. The Bruins all the way this afternoon on the warmest day ever on a January 2nd in Southern California. 38-3, a red-hot offense directed by Rick Neuheisel. First down at the 21 of UCLA. And it's Cephas right into the strength of the Illinois defense for 5 more before Ron Baum, number 94, can make the stop.
Strategy now for UCLA, simply run the football, run out the clock, keep it in bounds, try and keep your first downs going. but mostly just keep that clock turning. And looks like Cephas may have hurt himself on that last play, Dick, heading for the sideline.
The Illini, who allowed the opponents less than 100 yards rushing per game, and Cephas almost has that total himself this afternoon. Kevin Nelson cutting back inside to about the 27-yard line, where it will be third down about 3. Tony Scarcelli. Don Thorpe made the tackle.
Dick, even though this has been a very disappointing game for the Illinois team, they brought 95 players out. Normally you travel with about 60, but they brought the whole team. They brought the red shirts as well. And even in a losing experience, they really have had a good time out here. It's something that they will remember. But I think if you could put your head on the sideline with them right now, they're thinking about next year already. And on the UCLA sideline, not only proud of today, but they're thinking about next year. You know, they've got a lot of fine red shirts waiting to get a chance to get some action. And the way they played today, they're going to be tough next year.
Well, there's one of them who will be back. Carl Durrell, just a sophomore, had 21 catches during the year. He's had a big Rose Bowl game. Keith Taylor made the stop. Durrell in this contest now with 5 catches, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. Steve Bono will inherit the quarterback duties from Rick Neuheisel, and Bono, a highly recruited player out of Pennsylvania, a prep All-America. He'll be a senior next year. The underdogs won 2 of the 3 games today, and very nearly the third. Pittsburgh lost when favored Ohio State scored in the final minute. The Orange Bowl will be next. We're going to go to NFL 83 or New York Control 83 for this report.
Coming up at the Orange Bowl, Heisman Trophy winner Mike Rozier is ready to lead #1 Nebraska against Miami of Florida as they bid for the national championship of college football. Now back to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
All right, Don Crickey, John Brody, they'll have the call for you from the Orange Bowl. Neuheisel wide open on this side, but he overshoots Danny Andrews. He had his back swinging into the flat, and that'll bring up third down for UCLA in about 7.
Control pass, virtually a long handoff. Well thrown. Neuheisel, as we said earlier, an accurate passer, has thrown it extremely well during the entire day. Andrews coming in motion, gets to the outside. He's just going to get a little toss here, a little eager to get away. Goes up. That ball was thrown high. Let's backtrack just a little. Had to go up after it. Not the best pass that Neuheisel has thrown today.
Rushing yardage, UCLA 197, Illinois 12 yards against the Bruin defense. 3rd and 7 for Neuheisel. Under a rush. And he gets it to Young, who is out of bounds. No catch. Young did not have 1 foot down. He thought he did, but was out of bounds. And on 4th down, the Bruins will have to punt it away.
Well, in the battle between the Illinois defense and Neuheisel, they put the pressure squarely on him. And he has responded in championship form.
Well, we mentioned that this game going around the world, much less these great United States, our Atlantic fleet, Azores, Belgium, Canada, Finland, Hugo Paiva. Buried is Passmore at the 30-yard line of Illinois. Trailing 38-9 and 9:26 remaining in the 4th and final period. The Illini have the ball after a 36-yard punt by Bono. Here's the theme of this tournament of roses. A tremendous parade again this morning. The Rose Bowl game not as close as many thought and hoped for, especially those who cheered the Illini. But nevertheless, what a spectacular day. And for those of you who have never had the opportunity, if you come out here for the Rose Bowl game, don't miss the whole show. The parade's part of the package. And unbelievably exciting. Trudeau unable to find his tight end, Tim Brewster. Here are the rest of the folks that we wish a Happy New Year to around the world from Pasadena. A lot of men and women, Americans, who are far from home especially want to salute. Hope we've given you a little taste of Americana in the course of our coverage today.
Certainly have a taste of a beautiful California day. I have never seen one as pretty, or any prettier at least.
No humidity, 84 degrees.
We have a dead ball, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on Illinois.
Yeah, we hope we don't get into that sort of thing. The emotions of these young men.
A lot of frustration down there. There's no question about that.
9:22 left, which may be an eternity for Illinois. Back at their 15-yard line. 2nd and 25. Trudeau sacked at the 7-yard line. Down he goes again. And with those yards subtracted from the rushing total for the Illini, they're going to be in the minus pool again. Chris Block, the nose guard, number 78 from Valencia, junior, made the tackle.
Day turns even more frustrating for Illinois. Backed up now almost to their end zone.
Well, the Illini 3-0 in the Rose Bowl prior to this encounter. They had won with that Buddy Young team that we'd seen here earlier. Won again in 52. William Tate was their runner, and then Jim Grabowski, and the Illini won in 64. Williams kissed by Sanchez at the 10-yard line, and that'll bring up 4th down. Lupe Sanchez. Mike Young, the wide receiver who has a touchdown, was a teammate, and so was Don Mospar, the #1 draft pick of the Raiders out of the University of Southern California. All went to the same high school in Visalia up in the San Joaquin Valley. That must have been quite a club. Sanchez goes back now to return the punt. Chris Sigourney in his own end zone. He'll kick from about the goal line. Sanchez at the 48 and out of bounds right there. 7 minutes, 55 seconds remaining in this 1984 Rose Bowl. I want to pay a special thanks and a tribute to Tournament of Roses people. What a great job they've done again.
Don Judson, his wife Jane, Don, of course, this year's tournament chairman, and 700 active volunteers working hard to make this the great spectacle that it is, and certainly have enjoyed it. Wish the football game could have been a little tighter, Dick, but it's been great football from the UCLA side of the field. And I wonder, there are some people around who got to eat a little crow. Talked about the fact that UCLA didn't belong in this game. They weren't the best team in the Pac-10. That Washington should have been here. That some of the other teams in the Pac-10 should have been here. Well, UCLA certainly has silenced those critics today.
Yeah, that's quite an answer they've offered Illinois. Well, UCLA may have had the toughest early schedule in all of football this year when you consider the teams they lost to in those first 4. Nebraska went unbeaten. BYU lost only 1. Georgia beat Texas today. They lost only 1. Neuheisel has a man open. Bergman. And had the pass been longer, that was a touchdown, and Bergman knew it. He's down at the 20-yard line. David Edwards made the stop. That ties the Rose Bowl record. That was the 69th pass attempt.
And I don't think that's a pass that Mike White or his staff or the players on the Illini side of the field will forget. Score 38-9. You're going deep for more. Maybe ask a question about that one, Dick.
Well, that may have been just for Bergman's sake. The tight end in his last game from Canoga Park, California. He's been a great star for this UCLA team. He's had 2 excellent Rose Bowls. He was one of the bright spots in the win last year for UCLA. Well, that might be a fumble by Tennell. They're still scrambling for it as the freshman fullback lost possession. Who's got it? UCLA. Boy, the ball, not that they needed the breaks, but the ball certainly has bounced just right for UCLA and not for that man and his team.
Mike White's got to be saying, what do I have to do to get a break around here? There's no question that UCLA has been the dominant team on the field, but they have had their share of the breaks and then some.
Did you see that scoreboard? It says Caltech and MIT. I wonder how that got on there. Some shenanigans. You know, every year those Caltech people do something. Look, they've got the scoreboard wired. They got a little free publicity. Well, why not? Remember the one year they even got to the card section and spelled out Caltech, was it the UCLA or USC card section? They stole the cards and the directions so that students, unbeknownst to them, as they put up the cards, spelled out Caltech. Well, they got on the scoreboard. Wasn't it last year that they actually buried something under the turf here at the Rose Bowl?
They had a balloon that was going to go up, a little exploding thing to open up on the ground, and a balloon to go up in the air. Ken Cruz warming up on the sideline. They say that young man, talented enough to be playing and starting in a lot of situations, but happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time behind Jack Trudeau.
Another Californian. He's from San Francisco. 3rd and short. That'll be another first down. Danny Andrews inside the 10-yard line. Well, this one is not in doubt. It'll be UCLA winning here. The question remains, will it be Nebraska or Miami? National championship at stake. Let's go to the Orange Bowl.
Heisman winner Mike Rozier getting set to lead #1 Nebraska against Miami for the national championship on a big night at the Orange Bowl that features a very special halftime show. Be with us right now. Back to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
Thank you, Don. We'll all look forward to that one.
I think I've been in that Rose Bowl when that game was held a little bit, as this one is, and those people get a little rough down there.
That's right. We were there. There's another touchdown for UCLA. Brian Wiley, the junior fullback from Harbor City, California. And it's frosting for UCLA, and it may be mud in the eyes of Mike White.
Rose Bowl record for the most points scored, 49. Michigan versus Stanford, 1902. Michigan.
They did it again.
Yep. Michigan versus USC, 1948.
That was that great Bob Chappius, Jack Weisenberger, Bump Elliott team, Dominic Tomasi, man, Fritz Chrysler's club that they said was too small. 149-0. Extra point by Lee. And apparently the people here at the Rose Bowl recognizing the MIT Caltech tag, they're going up there trying to correct it. Flag is down on the extra point.
Losing their cool down there on the field.
He'll be back.
Extra softness is what you get.
Manning. Darkness now in Pasadena. And the lights are out for Illinois. 45-9 UCLA leads. Well, it's a long-distance revenge in the very first meeting between the Big Ten and the Pac-10. It was Illinois thumping UCLA 45-14, and that was a year when UCLA was unbeaten. They wanted an unbeaten Army team to come out here, and they said, Illinois, we don't want the Big Ten champion or representative. Illinois had lost a couple of games, and the Illini and Buddy Young, Julie Reikovich made the Bruins swallow those words, 45-14. And to repeat the comment earlier, 12 victories out of the first 13 games to the Big Ten. Then they went 5-5 in the 60s, and with a win today, the Pac-10 will have won 13 of the last 15, and after 38 years, dead even, 19-19 for these two great conferences.
And for Mike White on the sideline, he's got to begin to feel that this game against UCLA is a jinx. He'll be 0-7 against UCLA. He's done very well, interestingly enough, against USC. But UCLA doesn't give him the trouble.
In fact, he said, you know, we beat SC a couple of times to put UCLA in the bowl. In fact, it was that 75 bowl, I believe, that UCLA came here only because Cal had defeated SC during the regular season. Well, one thing we're going to have is a new record in the Rose Bowl for most passes, because they're tied now, and you figure Illinois will have to throw it.
I did never think we'd see that record broken.
Whoops. Did he step out of bounds? No. Joe Miles, 20, 30. He hustles out to the 31-yard line. Crawford made the tackle for UCLA. 27-yard return. The scoreboard clock and scoreboard not operative. So when Caltech did their little trick to put their name up in lights, apparently when they corrected it, they lost the whole system. There's Chris Jenner. He's number 2, the third-string quarterback, a junior. He is the man who signals in the plays. I want to talk a little bit about him because he represents something else very special. Incomplete is Ken Cruz, who is now the quarterback for Illinois, and that sets the record, the 70th pass of the game. Wait, UCLA saying that they
accepted that. No, this is just a chance for UCLA to bring out the starting defense. They get a hand as they go out. Terry Donahue, complete substitution, 11 new men in the game.
And they deserve that hand. They have indeed. Even though the points show up in the offensive total, it's been defensive dominance that has set them up with field position and kept Illinois grounded all day long.
2nd and 10. Cruz, a junior. Down he goes by the shirt tail. Well, the second team, Mark Whalen, well, he's not been a second unit performer today, forced into the starting lineup because of the food poisoning. Starter David Randall, who didn't suit up, and Whalen has had a whale of a football game. He's got a couple himself, plus a fumble recovery. No, I forced the fumble. Third down, 11. He's in trouble. Flags down. Cruz gets it away. Incomplete to Miles.
That's a shame. Brian Ward, number 79, threw himself at the heels. Defensive of the one of the defensive linemen who got away from him, of course, ends up with a penalty.
Well, Chris Jenner, we were talking about him earlier, and we want to salute this man because he represents the athletes who make All-America academically. This young man, a junior, is an all-A student in his 3 years, nothing but A's as a pre-med chemistry major. He's already been accepted in Johns Hopkins Medical School, and just want to salute Jenner. His man hasn't played today, did not see much duty or any duty this year behind the likes of Trudeau and Cruz. Nevertheless, an integral part of this team, and certainly someone that all of Illinois is proud of as a student.
Was in the final running for the Rhodes Scholarship, too. For a Rhodes Scholarship. Was not selected this year, but has the opportunity to apply next year.
The punt return is fumbled, and if it goes the way the game has, UCLA will have recovered it. Still scrambling underneath that file for possession. No, Illinois comes up with the football. A flag is down, but Illinois' Jim Juriga has the football. Now let's see how they untangle things.
Interference with the opportunity to catch Illinois.
Oh, well, they just haven't had a break. As you can see, we don't know how much time there is left in the game. We would guess around 3 minutes left. We do know the score, 45-9 UCLA. Maybe they burned out all the electricity here. They got to pay the bill.
A little bit merciful for the Illinois players and fans who don't have to look up and feel the unpleasantness of that score. Dick Butkus here with us at halftime, very unhappy then. I'm sure he's even more unhappy now.
But they're terrific fans. You look, a lot of folks have left, but you look down in this left corner and you can still see all the orange shirts. The Illini folks have stayed to the end, and it's great to have them out here. They've been out here. More tickets were needed by them. There were 25, 30,000, they say, and they only had 20,000 tickets. And they've been great fans. I know they're disappointed, but they've shown their support royally.
And they've had a great year. 10-1 on the regular season. They're finally back to where they know they can compete. And that has to be exciting for them.
Bob Garibaldi, that's a familiar name for you. It's because that name was a Major League Baseball pitcher. In fact, his dad was still a basketball official.
Dick, I think even though someone tinkered with the scoreboard, I think perhaps it was Illinois that unplugged it. they turned it to black. Maybe Dick Butkus got up there and turned out the lights.
3:35. Where's Don Meredith when we need him, huh? At the Illini 49, Bono the quarterback. Dragged down number 33, Greg Francois. There's Bono. He'll be the man next year. He had a terrific game against BYU here in the Rose Bowl. 37-35 loss, but rolled up some big numbers, almost all of those numbers from the one game. Then early in the Stanford contest that followed, injured the shoulder. That allowed Rick Neuheisel to come back, and Neuheisel and the Bruins did just that. They came back winning 6 of their last 7, taking the Pac-10 conference, and certainly showing they deserve to be here against the Big Ten champion this afternoon. Bono, and loaded that one.
twice in a row. Thorpe's been on top of the quarterback, and a lot of players here getting a look from pro scouts who are drooling over the opportunity of having a chance to draft them. Marv Levy was out looking at some of the players. I could get some of them back in Chicago to play for him. A number of the other pro scouts.
There's the answer to a Rose Bowl trivia quiz. The only man to play in the Rose Bowl and win, the only man to be an assistant coach and win, and a head coach. Terry Donahue. The Bruins were 0-5 till Donahue came along as a 195-pound defensive tackle. That was that 14-12 win, upset over #1 Michigan State back in 1966. Flag down. Bono. Apparently they ran into Bono, the kicker. And with that would come, depending on whether it was roughing the kicker or running into the kicker, a 5-yard penalty, which would not be a first down, or a 15-yard, which would carry the first down. Here it is again.
Chance to see it for yourselves. It's Joe Miles, captain of the special teams, knew instantly that if he hadn't touched the ball, he was in trouble. And they're going to mark the big one.
So that carries the first down. Everything that could go wrong for Illinois and right for the Bruins has.
Roughing the kicker, Illinois, automatic first down.
2 minutes and 22 seconds left. UCLA 45, Illinois 9. Earlier today, a big upset in the Cotton Bowl. Georgia knocked off previously unbeaten Texas 10-9, and Ohio State here on NBC in the Fiesta defeated Pittsburgh 28-23 on a last-minute touchdown pass. Nebraska and Miami are waiting. Stay in bounds. Oh my, out he goes, and the game continues on. We got about 2 minutes left. David Norrie is the new quarterback, number 9, as Terry Donahue giving him a chance to see some Rose Bowl duty. Well, yesterday we were at the Coliseum, and the Raiders devoured the Steelers, a lopsided game. And today was UCLA waiting for Illinois.
They call it an ambush, don't they, Rick?
Oh. This is like one of those Johnny Wooden basketball runs where they'd outscore the opposition 20-0. Just take a game apart early, and that's what the Bruin offense did. They led at the half 28-3, and the second half has been academic. It's been all UCLA. Norrie, the quarterback. Garibaldi, the ball carrier. Terry Donahue, 39 years of age. 8 years now for Donahue at UCLA. This will be his 62nd win, only 26 defeats. Back-to-back Rose Bowl championships. That's never happened to UCLA. Francois goes out of bounds again. But he's been taught well. A -6. Have a moment, a chance to thank those who have helped us in the booth. Dennis Mnuchin, Chuck Panama, Jack Prote, Arthur Hoffman, Art Hawbold, Joe Costanza, our statistician. Phil Olson, second set of eyes for us as well. Well, he wants to get ready to catch that Nebraska-Miami game, perhaps.
Their big day just about to end, too.
New quarterback Matt Stevens. Terry Donahue is going to give everyone in uniform apparently a chance to play a down. Garibaldi carried, and Illinois takes over on downs. There's the Queen, some of the members of her court. Glorious day for those young ladies, and well, these last month or so since they were selected. It's going to be all happiness on the west side of Los Angeles. Terry Donahue bringing back another Rose Bowl win. Not quite as dramatic as last year. Remember that shot we had of him throwing his headphones in the air when he knew he finally had the win. We accused him of practicing throwing those headphones up and catching them on his head right in position, but he denies that. There's a whale of a head coach at only 39, already 8 years of experience. Replaced Dick Vermeil after Vermeil won the Rose Bowl, went to Philadelphia, coached the Eagles, then Donahue took over. Less than a minute to go. Cruz the Illini quarterback, going long for Passmore. Number 2, Herb Welch, there to cover for UCLA.
Yeah, a lot of young men will be able to say at least they had a chance to play in this game anyway.
That's right. Now here's some people who played very hard. When the games aren't close, that's when these folks do their toughest work and best work. Our executive producer, Michael Weissman at NBC Sports. Ted Nathanson, our coordinating producer of football. Today's game was produced by Larry Cirillo and directed by the incomparable Harry Coyle. Yeah, that one's going to be too long for everyone. That Cruz showing the strength of arm. Harry Coyle, our director. Ray Fagelski, technical director. Ray Benassi, our associate director. All the rest of the folks who started things with the pre-game right through the post-game. They all send their best from Pasadena. We hope to see you out here. Part of a New Year's celebration someday.
Miami and Nebraska got to be just revving them up down there waiting for a chance to start, Dick.
We are. Number 1 Nebraska. They fell behind UCLA early in the season and then just whipped the Bruins like everyone else. It was 10-0 in the second quarter, but the final score was 42-10. Complete to Williams at the 50. Surrounded. He stays in bounds. That might be the final play. A scoreboard clock not working. Terry Donahue even got some action. Didn't want any of that.
They'll be keeping the official time on the field. Our only indication will be from the officials.
Now we're going to have to get some suntan oil for those camera people who are out in brilliant sunshine today. 27 seconds is the call. 27 seconds left. Cruz to Williams. He's out of bounds at the 35 of UCLA. About 20 seconds left. That's a 13-yard play. Well, it was Rick Neuheisel, and it completes somewhat of a Cinderella story. Not good enough to be recruited to a major university on his own. Walked onto the UCLA campus because he always liked UCLA. Came from Tempe, Arizona. Ties a Rose Bowl record with 4 touchdown passes. Had 10 completions in a row in the first half. And the Illini could not stop his arm. We were picking an MVP. That'd be the man. There's an interception for the Bruins and a little frosting on the cake. Number 31, Doug Donatelli. His uncle, the umpire, Augie. And it's strike 3 for Illinois.
There goes Donahue onto the shoulders. And he's earned a ride off the field. A painful day for this man.
For Mike White, another year, and you have the feeling that what he's done at Illinois in just 4 short years to get the Illini an unbeaten Big Ten championship, he'll be back. So the final score of this 1984 Rose Bowl, an impressive win for the Bruins.